Swaggy Magoo. Swaggy Magoo's coming back. I'm be slipping and sticking, putting my moves on him, moving my feet, slipping, punching, rocking Jake's world.
Mike Perry has dismantled Jake Paul, and the YouTuber turned boxer is having a total breakdown. The Jake Paul versus Mike Perry bout is just around the corner, so the air is thick with tension, with both athletes being as hungry as the other for the epic win. This matchup has taken a turn as Perry has absolutely shredded Jake Paul, and it went nuclear. Like Meltdown-level drama. Perry isn't here to play Mr. Nice Guy, and he won't be taking easy on the problem child. He's all like, this ain't some playground for rich YouTubers to play fight in, this is real combat. But of course, there's another story to this explosive reaction by the Platinum Princess. Did somebody say cheating scandals? Well, there's a lot to uncover, so let's break it down. Mike Perry has unleashed a verbal smackdown on the YouTuber turned boxer, and he's not holding back. Mike's been hopping on any interview he can to throw verbal jabs at the athlete. Now, whether it is to build hype and generate PPVS for the upcoming clash or to simply mess with his opponent's head, it's working. The fight between Jake Paul and Mike Perry isn't just about two guys stepping into the ring, it's a clash that's set to be a banger. In Perry's corner, we have a seasoned fighter, a man who's clawed his way up through the ranks, blood, sweat, and literal tears paving his path. On the other side, according to Perry, at least we've got a YouTube personality playing dress-up. The press conferences leading up to this fight have been electric, all thanks to Perry's verbal grenades. He hasn't held back, calling Jake out for everything from his country club boxing to his privileged upbringing. You think this is some kind of playground for rich kids, Jake? Perry thundered at a recent presser. Your daddy buys you the best trainers, the flashiest gear, but none of that can buy heart. You haven't sacrificed anything, haven't known the struggle. You're just a spoiled brat playing with boxing gloves. Now, Jake Paul's no stranger to controversy or trash talk. He built his brand on brash talk and calculated insults. Tears might not be his weapon of choice, but you better believe he throws verbal haymakers. Remember the epic online feuds with seasoned fighters? The constant call-outs of boxing legends? Jake thrives on pushing buttons. Words usually don't take a toll on the athlete, but Mike's recent call-outs have him breaking down.
It goes back to like people just like attacking Jake Paul and like wanting to see me fail for literally like...
I'm sure you know that the problem child isn't the kind to break down in front of a camera. This guy is tough. I mean, all he ever does is fire shots at everyone and their grandmas. Dude thrives on drama, thrives on getting under people's skin. But I guess he just realized that the taste of his own medicine isn't sweet. It's bitter as hell. Jake always drags an athlete's personal lives and trash talks to hype up. Well, Perry just pulled a you on you, Jake, because he went personal. Daddy buys you the best trainers, but all the money in the world can't buy a good relationship with your brother, can it, Jake? Perry, known for his no BS attitude, decided to go scorched earth. He didn't just attack Jake's boxing skills or his whole YouTube boxer persona. He went straight for the feels. We all know the Paul brothers' relationship has been on the rocks lately. Public spats and accusations flying on social media. It's been a messy situation. But Jake's always kept his emotions in check, at least publicly. So Perry's jab, delivered with the casual cruelty of a schoolyard bully, hit a nerve deeper than anyone expected. This wasn't just about boxing anymore. This was about a fractured family. Now Jake's been on the brink of a meltdown for quite some time now. I mean, this guy has been at it trying to cement his legacy as a legitimate boxer, but no one in the boxing community is buying it. And why would they? It's 2020, and Jake Paul makes his pro boxing debut in the ring against Anderson Gibb. The athlete came out on top with an epic knockout win and took the fight world by storm. But the pros knew this win wasn't impressive. Anderson Gibb wasn't a real boxer, so taking him down was a walk in the park for Paul. Then came Jake's series of wins against retired MMA stars or NBA players. Nate Robinson, Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, Anderson Silva. Yeah, these wins were great, but they didn't cement Paul's status as a legitimate boxer in the ring. Jake has been putting on a series of orchestrated charades for fans with hand-picked opponents. Of course, the 27-year-old in his prime will come out on top when he steps into the ring with athletes pushing their 50s. Influencer boxing matches? Entertaining? Sure. But real boxing? It's a whole different ballgame. Skill, strategy, heart, these are the things that matter. And let's be honest, Jake Paul's boxing skills are questionable at best. I mean, let's talk about his fight with Tommy Fury for a second. Fury's the only seasoned professional Paul has ever put up gloves against, and he's the one who handed Jake's butt back to him. The former Disney star was handed the first loss of his career right there, and then the moment he stepped up to fight pro.
You can respect me, you can try to disrespect me, you can be afraid of me, you ain't gotta be afraid of me. I'm gonna put these paws in your face and I'm gonna hurt you bad. That's my game plan. I'm bringing the pain July 20th.
Mike Perry has his goals straight. He's going to give Paul a run for his money in the ring. Mike Perry isn't just training for a fight, he's training for an execution. Perry's got fire in his eyes and a plan etched in stone. This fight isn't just about winning. It's about exposing Jake Paul for the alleged fraud he believes him to be. Technique? Skills? Perry scoffed in a recent interview. He might have fancy footwork for his TikTok followers, but that ain't gonna hold up against someone who's been studying the sweet science his whole life. Perry's confidence is bordering on terrifying. He's dissecting Jake's fights, pointing out every weakness, every predictable move. It's like watching a predator studying his prey before the final pounce. He's a con man, selling dreams to kids, pretending he's a real athlete. I'm going to expose him for what he truly is, a flashy YouTube personality with delusions of grandeur. Now, some might call it trash talk, but with Perry it feels different. There's a genuine fury in his eyes and a burning desire to shut down the entire influencer boxer narrative. He wants to send a message, not just to Jake Paul, but to everyone who thinks boxing is a playground for internet celebrities. Perry's training camp is a sight to behold. He's pushing himself to the absolute limit. Speed drills, brutal conditioning, and an almost obsessive focus on perfecting his technique. Perry's leaving no stone unturned. He wants to be a force of nature in the ring, a storm Jake Paul won't be able to weather. So what do the pros think about it? Let's hear it from them.
Mike Perry is a fighter. Mike Perry wasn't necessarily the best jiu-jitsu artist or had the best wrestling, but there's not a fight that Mike Perry won't take. I've spoken to Mike Perry on several occasions, and he is the epitome of a real fighter. And he's an absolute star in the bare knuckle organization. For Jake Paul, I think he's made a tremendous mistake here because he's a real fighter. He's going to get in shape. He's not afraid to mix it up, and he's going to go right at Jake.
Sean O'Malley has shared his take on the upcoming fight, and he believes it's going to be a tough one.
Mike Perry versus Jake Paul. I think it's more of a competitive match. I think Tyson was just a little bit too, aged, weathered. But I think Mike Perry versus Jake Paul is a very, very interesting, very competitive fight. I think it would be the most competitive fight Jake's had outside of the Tommy Fury fight. I would be very interested to seeing it, and I'm excited to see it. I think it's actually happening July 20th, and I don't know where, but I want to go.
But who does he have as his winner?
I think, God dang it, that's actually a tough fight to predict because Mike's in it, but he's in bare knuckle. It is a different sport, different size space to fight it, different range. It's very similar but very different. Jake's been boxing. Mike's been bare knuckle boxing.
July 20th needs to be a turning point. A dominant win over Perry, a clear display of mental toughness alongside his physical skills. That's what will get people talking. Forget calling out a 58-year-old Mike Tyson for a publicity stunt. Calling out the top 10 contenders, the young lions hungry for their own titles, that's the path to a championship. By letting Perry get under his skin, Jake might be playing right into his hands. Remember that blockbuster fight with Mike Tyson on November 15th at the AT&T Arena? Yeah, that whole thing might be going up in smoke. Think about it. A humiliating loss to Perry would leave a big stain on Jake's record. No way would Tyson, a legend in the sport, risk tarnishing his legacy by stepping into the ring with a guy coming off a defeat like that. Perry knows this. He knows a win over Jake would be a massive feather in his cap, not just shutting down the influencer boxer narrative, but potentially derailing Jake's entire career trajectory. Every jab, every personal attack, it's all calculated to get a reaction, to crack Jake's mental armor and expose him as vulnerable. Jake needs to be ice cold here. He can't let Perry's mind games distract him. A win over Perry, even a close one, keeps the dream of fighting Tyson alive. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see how everything plays out. So there you have it, Fight World. That's all I have for you today. What are your thoughts on Jake Paul's total meltdown after Mike shredded him live? Make sure to fill the comment section with your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more boxing news. See you in the next video.